It's a time of innovation, advancement, and prosperity. Long gone are the dark ages of the animal kingdoms. Now is the era of the big city. And nowhere was this more true than in the heart of London. A city on the rise, primed for the future, and new stories are ready to be told. Animals of all sorts are making their way into the city. Who are they? What stories are they going to tell? Let's find out together as we make original characters in The Industrial Evolution.
Hello, my name is Patrick. I'm so glad you're here. I'm a sculptor, and recently I wanted to challenge myself and make some original characters. So I came up with a world. What if we took the kingdom of the animal kingdom and advanced it through history into the industrialist society? What would the animals be? Who would be what? What would they be doing? And so I came up with this concept. I brought it over to my Twitch community and said, hey friends, we're going to try this out. And for the last month, we've been making characters in this world. And I want to show you the first of these, Reginald the Visionary. He's one of the titans of industry. He's a captain in his field. And I'm going to tell you more about him as we get through the project, but for now, let's get started. I began by taking my basic armature and building the core shape of the legs. I added some foil and built up the body shape with clay. I added some long triangles to the bottom of the legs for feet. I started to work in the detail in the shoes, and I went for a wingtip style shoe. Then I began to separate the shoe from the pant leg with some thin strips of clay and a snake of clay for the crease line of the pants. Using varying sized snakes of clay, I begin to add the wrinkle detail into the pants. This is a slow process of placing wrinkles and then blending them in.
Reginald Probosce lived much of his life in the shadow of his father, Ronald Probosce. His father's success in the processing and manufacturing of peanut butter meant that Reginald's life work was decided before he was born. Reginald would be a peanut man. But Reg would not be put into a box, and so launched his own business focused on the development of a new celery-based product. Inspired by Reg's passion and his ability to sell the story of his product, the company launched with enthusiasm and some notoriety. But the product didn't live up to the hype. It was a massive failure and would teach Reg much about the harsh world of business. This public failure led Reginald to his rightful place at his father's side in the peanut world. But that was never enough.
With the pants done, it was time to begin adding clothes to the body. I used a thin strip of clay to simulate the bottom of his vest, wrapping it around the body, starting at the join point of the vest, and wrapping it around the waist, and then along the front, turning at the point where the two sides of the vest beat. I needed to begin layers for the shirt under the vest, so I built up the shoulders a little bit and added a bit of material for the neck. I made the upper shapes of a tie and then layered on a collar. I then added a strip of clay for the top of the vest, wrapping in the same direction as the bottom, making a V between the two halves of the vest. I used a ball stylus to shape in some of those simple wrinkles. And marked the location of the 6 buttons along the front of the vest. I rolled out balls of clay and flattened them with my finger for buttons. Finally, I cut some long triangles for the collar of the vest and blended them into the neck. At this point, I baked the body to lock in our current design. When cooled, I started on the arms. I rolled out thick tubes of clay for the arms and blended them into the body.
And when his father passed, Reginald found himself at the helm of a peanut empire. But Reginald wanted more. Always the dreamer, Reg frequented tech expos and would often let his imagination wander at the potential he was seeing. But it wasn't until he came across photoplays that his passion for technology and skill for inspiring others took off. He leveraged his peanut empire for the chance to launch his own production company, PNT Studios.
Before positioning the arms, I needed to add the bottoms of his overcoat, so I rolled out a thin layer of clay and began positioning it around the waist of the sculpture. I wanted the right arm to be positioned with the hand in the pocket and under the overcoat. So, as I wrapped this clay around the waist, I folded the clay, attempting to position it in the same way it would hang if pushed by the arm. And then added snakes of clay to enhance this shape. With the base of the jacket in place, I began to build up the collar much like I did with the vest. Once I had a collar in place, I could then begin to shape and place the arms. I blended the arm into the leg and used a semicircle of clay to mark in a pocket. And now I could begin adding wrinkles and shapes for the arms. Once I was happy with the arms, I baked the sculpture once more. Once baked and cooled, I added wire structure for the head and the trunk, and began shaping the head with foil and clay. With the basic shape of the head in place, I began adding details to the bottom of the mouth, adding tubes of clay as the foundation for the tusks, and then used a ball stylus to make holes for the eyes. I placed pre-baked round balls of clay for the eyeballs, and shaped in the face around the eyes. I flattened out 2 wide circles for the ears on both sides.
His first film, The Origins of Peanut Butter, stunned audiences with moving pictures of a train driving over a peanut. People were known to leap out of their seats, overwhelmed by the images of a train driving directly towards them. But that fear quickly turned to laughter at the absurd joke at the center of the film. Following the success of the film, investors flocked to PNT Studios, and Reginald Probase, forever to be known as a visionary in the film and media world, led his studio into a great and glorious future.
And with some extra detail, the head was just about done. Now I needed to add the final hand. So I began by adding material to the hand to create a foundation. I shaped in 3 fingers and a thumb. And using oven-baked adhesive, I attached a book that I pre-baked and positioned the fingers. And with that, I ended up adding a top hat and a pocket watch for some extra detail. So I set about painting it, and when I was done, Reg was ready to be revealed. Let's check out Reginald, the visionary elephant. And with that, Reginald is done. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm having a lot of fun making these industrialist animals. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about his story and finding out more about this character. I look forward to making more things in this world. I've got a couple more that I've already made, and I'm working on more of my Twitch streams, twitch.tv/southernhandmade. I'd love to see you there. I'm working on them right now. Come check them out. I'd love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you think of the world we've started to make. Do you have any ideas of interesting characters who could live in this world? Do you have any thoughts about what I could add to make this world extra special? I'm really invested in this. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please let me know in the comments below. And of course, till next time, keep being awesome.